And go live.
Are we in?
Hello!
Hello!
We
Good
are
afternoon,
in.
everybody.
Good
Cheers!
afternoon, Cuppa Tea time.
How are we all today? Oh, my phone's on loud.
It's all on loud. We are live with
There we
you. How is everybody doing? Have you got your cup of tea, your water, your gin?
What week are we on? Prynhaimda. Good afternoon, Josh.
Hello, Josh. You've got it there as well.
Oh, hello. Yeah, we've got.
Right, Liz is watching as well.
Hello, Liz.
Hello. Ah, so many screens. Hello, Sophie.
Hello, Sophie.
Hello, welcome. Hello, my lovelies from Liz. Hello.
Oh, it's a good feeling.
Oh, this is lovely.
Sending the care.
How is everybody doing this morning? It is
This afternoon.
This afternoon. It's 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock.
It's 1 o'clock.
Yay!
It's Thursday, the 28th of May.
Yay!
Whoop, whoop. It is sunny outside.
Yay!
Whoop, whoop. The pool is full. Hello, Ben on Instagram.
Woo!
Hello, Mary.
Ben. Hello, Mary.
Hello, how is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Everybody doing after yesterday's
Shame
chat
tour.
on shame. Hello, and Harrod Leeway Productions on Instagram as well. Hello.
Hello.
We are live.
Thanks, Josh.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at the moment.
Yes!
We're everywhere.
We are like dog poo.
Whoop, whoop.
There's a lot of dog poo on the roads, everybody. Did you notice?
So much.
It's disgusting.
I know.
Pick up your poo.
Please, we'll be fine.
Gross.
Mr.
Oh, hello, Dion.
Hello, Dion.
Hello,
Amma John.
John.
Sign you in. Hello.
Tick, tick, tick. On time, yeah. Yo, peeps.
Mr.
Yo,
Wu
yo,
has
yo.
made it.
He's in the house.
He was in Wilkinson's this morning, standing under the AC, pretending that he was on holiday.
Helen is onto something.
She's ruined my surprise.
We have got a happy birthday.
It's happy birthday, Dion.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Woo!
Woo!
If everybody can give Dion a little bit of a happy birthday
A little
love.
bit of care, a little bit of big.
Care
big
emojis all
It
round.
is Dion's birthday. Hello, Bethan.
Hello, Bethan. Oh, someone on Twitter. Hello.
Oh, hello, Malia Bob.
Malia Bob. That's
Hi,
such a
Malia
good
Bob.
name. Malia Bob. Hello, welcome to the Hello Tom Dyer show. It is Cuppa Tea with Tom and Abz.
Jaws.
Only me.
Only me.
Malia B is only me.
That's wonderful.
There you go.
We're glad you could join us.
Lots of happy birthdays coming in. I also know that Dion had a bit of a happy birthday comment part that in the Sing With Us group this morning as well. So she's getting
nice
lots
too.
of happy birthdays. Lots of people having to celebrate their birthdays while in lockdown.
They are indeed. So nothing like a bit of virtual happy birthday celebrations, actually.
Exactly. I feel bad now. I feel like that we've made fun of Malia Bob, but that wasn't intended. She's put Y.
Malia Bob's a great name.
It's a great name. I love it. It just rolls. It rolls off.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be
No,
great.
I love it.
Got a few Pembroke Happises as well.
Pembroke Happis. We are in Wales. Where are you, Malia Bob? Oh, it's sexy woman and cool man talking anything.
Yes.
Bless you.
Well, welcome to the fold.
I got my leopard print on.
Indeed. What do people think of the leopard print? What was
I
Tallulah?
usually wear stripes.
You are stripes. What was Tallulah's verdict on the leopard print?
Not sure. The yellow doesn't suit you. I was like, well, I'm wearing it, so okay.
I love Tallulah
And
so
off she
much.
went to the pool.
Oh, I love it.
We are from the UK. Where are you from, Malia?
Yeah, Malia, but yes, we are United Kingdom. So
In Wales, actually.
in
Welsh Wales.
Welsh Wales. Not big blue white ones. Blue white ones?
Well, you could argue my
giant
thumb
blue
is,
whales.
but,
Hey.
you know.
Istanbul, welcome.
Ooh, fantastic.
I don't think we've ever been to Turkey before.
Lovely.
Welcome. Oh,
Yeah.
Istanbul. I love that.
I love that we hit all the world. It's great.
Oh, Liz saying you look
Oh,
gorgeous.
thank you, Liz. You're too kind. Thank you, Josh.
Oh, we'll check you out.
I wasn't even fishing for compliments. Thank you.
No, she wasn't. I brought it up.
I was going to say,
It was all me. How's everybody's morning been so far? That's what I'm interested in knowing.
I've been busy. Busy bee.
You have been a busy bee.
I have. I mean, hello. I'm a call centre today. And I talk to you again.
You really have. You described it as a whistle-stop tour of all adult services in Pembrokeshire,
truly did,
which
yes,
is amazing.
yes.
So you're learning.
I am. Lots of learning.
Love it.
It's like camouflage top, I know. There's some lumps and bumps in the wallpaper. oh, it's just Abigail.
Oh, it's hello. Brilliant. So, what have I been up to this morning? I've had a phone call this morning regarding a different type of therapy.
Mr. Wu is bigging you up now. He's feeling sorry for you, obviously.
Thank you, Mr. Wu.
Yes.
I'll take that.
Sending the love.
Sending the love.
She is very happy.
She's always,
we're
always happy. We try our best.
Smile.
I've been trying to sew a giant leather dahlia flower.
Ooh, that
wow.
sounds amazing.
That sounds, I can't even picture that in my head.
Bethan's saying adult scissors. Oh, Bethan, that is one for the late show. My God.
Adult scissors on the late show. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, not quite, but more supportive. So that's your morning. I was talking about a different type of therapy this morning, about what I can do now that I've got all the time in the world. So that's really interesting. I'm interested in what John's done.
He's fashioned himself a gospel choir robe from a spare bedsheet to combat the heat.
Ooh.
Wow, John, that sounds pretty fantastic.
That does. All these people that are saying what they've done, I want to see pictures of these once the live feed is done.
Oh yes, that sounds good.
Because you can't do it now, sadly. But when the feed is over, you can comment and you can post pictures on the feed.
Oh, lovely.
I want to see this dahlia.
Yeah.
So that's been our morning. Tallulah has been filling up the pool because it's sunny outside.
It is now full.
It is now full. So jumping in there later on.
Yes.
I assume that's Liz replying to John.
Yeah.
What colour choir robe have you gone for?
I'm intrigued.
Because this strip's purple, isn't it, and all that stuff.
Was it?
I think so.
I thought it was black.
No, was it? Yeah, but they've got usually a signature colour, haven't they?
Oh right, I thought it was just the Vickers.
I've just had a delivery.
I love the sound of that, Helen.
I like a Disney
mugs.
Novelty mugs.
I have way too many.
You do, to the extent that you've had to put some on top of the cabinet now.
I often get gifted mugs. All sorts of different mugs.
But if you are travelling, what Abigail really likes is a thimble.
I collect thimbles and I love them.
Thimbles all the way. And what did we find the other day on our walk?
Oh, a thimble cottage.
Thimble cottage.
Thimble cottage.
We found a house called Thimble Cottage, which you have to move into at some point. Lauren's on lifeguard duty again. We'll be doing that later on.
Yeah.
Classic black from John. Nice. Proper lovely mugs. I have about 30.
That's impressive.
Where'd you put them?
I don't know.
Oh, hello, Collie. Collie's joined us.
Hello, Collie.
Hello. I need to reply to Collie, actually. She's on the lookout for some Hello Tom Dyer shop goodies. Garments, apparel. Yes. We've got thank you NHS, I accept hoodies at the moment, and there's also the traditional I accept. And giving the game away a little bit, I've got some more designs coming up.
Ooh, exciting. I can't wait.
I know. So there's some more designs coming up for the Hello Tom Dyer shop, still based around kind of acceptance and commitment, and also based on community.
Wonderful.
So that's what I'm releasing soon. Before that, though, with the sunny weather, I'm going to put the hats back on the shop. So we've got baseball hats.
So why did you take them away?
Because you don't need a baseball hat in winter.
Yeah, but it's hot in other places of the world.
That's true. And we're going global.
Well,
we're in Istanbul now. We're in Istanbul.
Jeez Louise.
So I'll be putting the hats back on. And I'm adding a few bits and pieces onto the shop as well, including something for this very community as well.
Oh, how very wonderful. I'm excited to find out.
Well, you've had a little sneak peek.
Yes.
How exciting. And what's going on? Most definitely always need a good depth of tea. You do need a tea mugs. Yes, you do.
I prefer small cups of tea.
You do. And you still didn't finish them. Die hard going global.
Yes. Oh, Bethan is saying here, massive baggy NHS t-shirt is super comfy.
Thank you very much, Bethan.
That's good.
She sent me a picture yesterday, said she got back from a walk.
Yeah.
And Mum was like, the package came to you, and then she put it on. And
she's drowning in the t-shirt.
She was like, it was only supposed to be a little bit roomy. It's massive.
They're generous sizes then, I'm assuming.
Well, talk to Bethan. I don't want to give digits away.
No, yeah, okay.
But by all means, have a look. And the kid sizes, as I've been looking at it for Mum, 3 to 4 is extra small. It should fit a 3 to 4 year old child.
Oh, okay.
So that's the extra small. Dion's excited for the one for the Die Hard community as well.
Oh, brilliant! Yes,
love it. The first thing that I really wanted to talk about was.
Can I accidentally drop the lid out there from the 2 bottles where the dog?
that's okay.
That's okay. We've got Lulu here with an emergency.
Say hello.
Hello, Pure West Radio. I assume that's Toby. Hello.
Hello.
In fact, I've talked to you about Pure West Radio.
Yes, indeed.
But what I want to get people thinking about, whilst we try and figure out what Tallulah message is those that watched yesterday's episode with Josh and Jessie, social work student and qualified counsellor, on the episode of shame. What are people's reflections on it? It was really interesting when we were doing it that there was a period of time where there were no comments, and there were 2 comments that did come in that were no one saying anything because we're engrossed. And with such a theme and a topic that can be quite hard hitting and very kind of revealing, people have had time to go away and ponder out it for the rest of the day. You've had a chance to sleep on it. You knew that we were coming back live today, and I suppose I just want to see what people's thoughts are 24 hours later.
I think my takeaway from it is I think that most people sort of link shame and being really vulnerable. Jessie was really onto something there, and I wonder if that's maybe why not many people were very forthcoming with any sort of anecdotes or stories, because it's such a wide open, it's quite a deep subject, isn't it?
Yeah, because shame is more than just humiliation and embarrassment. It's the attachment that you add to it.
It's the feeling and the impact that it has on your overall being, possibly from childhood into adulthood as well. So yeah, that was my little takeaway.
And so to reveal that is really opening so much into your soul.
Like it opens you up.
Yeah. And that's where Brené Brown, Sophie said that she was going to listen to Brené Brown's audiobook again. I'm subscribed to a podcast at the moment. She said vulnerability begins where shame ends, essentially.
Yeah. And Josh is saying, I totally agree, Ab. Shame can be buried so deep. Yeah. Oh, and Emily says, hello. Hello, Emily. We're just reflecting on shame yesterday and how we all felt, and if anybody has any comments or feedback for us.
Yeah. And then if you just join, Abigail was saying that it's so deep. Josh agrees as well, and it really is that opening up, which is so revealing.
Yeah,
that you might not be able, that you might crumble, and you're afraid that you won't be able to stand back up again, and that's really scary if you reveal that, because it might impact all of your social circles, your familial links as well, and all of a sudden you think, well, how can I rebuild from this, because I've just sold my deepest, darkest secret.
Liz is saying it was the added humiliation for me. I think felt good to say it. Well, type it.
Yeah.
And Dion is saying it's often buried in a box that we don't want to open. I agree, Dion. I think that some people I know, chatting with some friends of mine, said, oh, think about shame. I don't think I've ever suffered shame. And it's actually, oh, what about that time? Oh my God, yeah. And it was just that reflecting. And yeah, you do bury it. And you don't want to think about it. And it just gets locked away. Yeah. And sometimes that could be the cause of why you are who you are, or how you interact with people, or how you feel about yourself today.
Yeah.
And Josh's takeaway was how big a topic it is. We didn't even go into mental health conditions as a result of shame. That could be a much longer live discussion. Totally agree, Josh.
Definitely. And Josh is right. Like we barely really touched the surface on the implications of shame and what we can do to support people who may be harboring those secrets. It reminds me of in the Book of Mormon, a musical, there's a song called Turn It Off.
Right.
And it's a very comedic take on Mormons who are out and about, and there's like, you're having bad thoughts, you turn it off like a light switch to say flick, flick, flick. Whereas if you do that and you put it in a box, and at the very end of it, like they're all happy and smiling, it's like, and you put it in a box and crush it, and it's that anger that comes out of it. And it's like, yes, they've had this wonderful jovial song, but actually he doesn't want the box in the first place.
No,
he wants to crush it. He wants that box to completely disappear. So there's that kind of shame, which is, I don't even think about it anymore. It's not part of my life. And then there's those then where the box is front and center in your brain, and you constantly are reminded of it by yourself. And like if it's in a box that you don't see and you don't think of until a moment happens, and then you feel it for that moment, and then you can fight or flight. You can disappear with it and be like, oh, I don't belong here, and leave. Whereas if it's there constantly in your head, then there's not much you can do about it. And it's really frustrating then, because it's a constant chipping away that you are shameful.
Yeah.
And it becomes your identity.
That's not good. Lauren, the longer you hide away from it, the more your confidence is affected. I found that when you can't face it because you lack the confidence, vicious circle at times. I totally agree, Lauren.
Yeah. And particularly linking this to self-awareness, you know that it needs confronting.
Yeah.
And you know that
It's
it's something that needs it, but you're just spiraling until you become like this little dot. And if you're a little dot, you can't expand anywhere.
Yeah.
Even though you've got so much room available to expand, we've convinced ourselves that we're just this tiny little speck. And you're aware of it, which means that your confidence is, I'm aware that I'm not worthy of being or expressing what I actually am. And that becomes really frustrating, because, well, how do I break out of that?
Yeah. Mary, then, sometimes it's hard to say something out loud because then it's real. I totally agree with this. We often feel if we hide it away, it's not really happening. And it's true. It's a bit like if you think if you're ill, and let's say if you found a lump, or, lump or something like that, you're like, if I just, it'll go away. And sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes you do have to confront it.
Yeah.
And and by confronting issues, it often helps.
And that's the thing. A lot of people get so worried about what could go wrong by exposing that vulnerability, that they think, well, if I say it, or if I confront the issue, then everything's going to fall through, because everything's going to go wrong. And they don't think about, well, if I confront it and the people that I'm talking to about can then know what I'm thinking, everyone can do something about it. Yeah.
And I guess the sooner you confront it, and the sooner you sort of realize, I know it's far easier said than done, you just think, oh, do you know, I wish I'd done that a little while ago.
Yeah. And that's certainly what
Helen is saying, avoidance can be dangerous. Yeah, and it can.
It's so dangerous. In acceptance and commitment therapy, there's a whole section on avoidance. And there's a whole thing about you become part of this avoidance conspiracy, because you know there's something wrong with you. The person that spend the most time with you know there's something wrong with you, but no one wants to actually bring it up or mention it. And so everyone's in on the same game.
Yeah, and I like Emily's sort of take on it as well. It's empowering just to say it. I'm real. I make mistakes, and I'm still okay, or I'm confronting it.
Yeah.
Definitely, Emily. Oh, Katrin, embrace it. So Katrin is saying, embrace it. Make it a positive part of who you are. Never care enough about what others think of you. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we've talked previously about being selfish.
Yes.
And look after yourself. And if you're harboring something that you know is bringing you down, look after yourself and be like, I'm shooting this out into the open. And if you say something out loud, and there's the analogy of once you say it, you can't reel it back in. It's toothpaste.
Yes. Yeah.
Once you squeeze the toothpaste, you can't get it back in. But once it's out, at least it's out.
Yeah.
And my bit like a teardrop, when people say, I don't want to cry, I don't like crying. There's so much weight in a tiny teardrop that you feel lighter.
Lifted.
And
yeah.
It's the same with speaking or typing out loud, and actually confronting and hard-hitting issues straight on and saying, this is how I feel right now. And you could just leave it at that. This is how I feel. You could say because of this. And it's important that before you have those kind of conversations, that whoever you're talking with that with, is that you don't want necessarily support or help at the first hurdle.
Yeah.
You just want to get it out.
Say it.
Yeah. It was like, I don't want you to openly judge me for what I'm about to say. I just want you to say something along the lines of, that's interesting. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. And that's all it needs.
Or I feel for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine how that feels. Sometimes that helps that person. Yeah. And Liz is saying there's definitely a fear of ridicule in sharing it with someone. But as the saying goes, a problem shared is a problem halved, and it is so true. I agree with you, Liz. I'm a big advocate of talking. Huge.
Very much so.
And it's so important.
But it helps you no end.
Oh my God, like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. Like it's great.
Such a weight lifted to me. Like you just go, because your shoulders drop like this often if you've got something in mind. And then all of a sudden you're like,
oh, I can relax now. Yeah, it's done.
That was tense.
It's out there.
Yeah. And Dion is saying, I know for me in the past, I've kept the box closed because I've thought I will completely break if I open it up. but there is usually a tipping point where I know then that it has to be done.
Yeah.
And I think lots of people feel like that. Oh, just leave it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Tony Robbins, the big giant self-help guru person, he often talks about the pain to change. If we're existing in our current life and it's okay,
Yeah.
and we've got a painful thing which is underneath it, then we can just coast, which means that we're not living a full life because this is anchoring us down. But the pain of this isn't enough to make us change our life. And it takes for something to make the pain more than the everyday life that makes us think, no, I'm going to drop both of them.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, when you carry shame around, one of the questions that I know people have asked is, like after long conversations, I carry this around with me. I feel this because of what happened in childhood. I feel this because of what happened in my relationship, blah, blah, blah. And someone just looks at them straight-laced and says, why don't you just put the bags down?
Ooh, just think of that.
Just put them down. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry it. Hello, Chrissy on Instagram.
Hello, Chris.
Welcome back.
Thanks for joining us, Josh.
Oh, Josh is off. Bye, Josh. We sometimes.
There's lots of replies going on.
Oh, is there lots of conversation going on? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah. And it's in those moments. So Dion's, I can't remember what it was that we were actually referring to, but Dion's just put, it's in those moments that you realize how strong you are. And hopefully it's her opening up her box and saying, I thought I was going to break, but I opened the box and I haven't broken. And you realize, as Dion is saying, just how strong you are. And we talked
Which links back to resilience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We talked 2 weeks ago about resilience.
Mm.
We're more afraid of what might go wrong than putting ourselves saying, no, I can go through with this. I'm resilient enough to get through this awkward phase. And that's really important.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, everyone's saying bye, Josh.
Yeah.
Are those? So Liz is saying those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, because a lot of people that do mind your business in a negative way, you wouldn't have listened to their advice anyway.
They don't matter.
Yeah.
If they're not willing to sort of listen or take it on board or give you some strength or encouragement or support, then they don't matter.
Yeah,
they're not worth it.
Like, we don't need to keep them in our circle. And I wrote a post yesterday before about you don't need to pander to anyone. And if we're feeling a certain way and there's people around us in our circle that aren't supportive of what we're trying to get out of, we don't need to pander to them and be like, no, but you must be part of this journey with me.
Get it out.
It's like, no, I don't need to bring you with me at all.
Yeah.
And that's really important to recognize as well. It's not easy to be like, but this person I've known for X number of years has always been my rock. But as if you notice someone is no longer serving you or guiding you or helping you to achieve better things, then you need to be strong and think about, well, do I want to stay here or do I want to actually get out of here? And that's really important.
And Helen's saying she's just opened a box.
Oh,
found Disney mug.
Hey.
Opening boxes isn't all that bad. You never know what's in there unless you open it. And that is also true, Helen. I like that.
I like that as well, because that's a very good point, actually. The boxes that we've got on our... oh, thank you, Chrissy, by the way. Chrissy's saying yes to all of this on Instagram.
Okay.
The box that we've put in our brains, that we've either hidden in a corner or is front and centre, it could have been so many years since you put that box together.
Yep.
And what was the biggest issue to you as a 16-year-old might no longer be the issue that it is now in the present day.
No.
So just take a peek at it and think, is this actually still something which
is worth worrying about or feeling shamed about?
Yeah. So revisit it, because you never know what you might find in there. And one of my old volunteers used to always say that if ever he found his thoughts going back to different places, he would deliberately change the narrative on it. And he would say, yes, I'm going back to a bad memory. However, I'm going to deliberately remember this perspective of it.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. John, there, surround yourself with the best and those that will lift you up.
Absolutely, John.
Completely. We're not
over that.
We're not a bunch of crabs. If you've got crabs in a bucket, if one tries breaking free, the others drag the crabs down.
They do. They're horrible. I watched it. I've actually watched that happen.
Have you seen that happen? From a bucket?
Yeah. They go, oi, get back here. You're like, no, I'm breaking free. That's what I'm doing. I'm going.
So that's like, if you're aware that you're going back to self-awareness, there you go. Christy's saying, find your tribe to lift you up.
Like a good tribe.
I completely agree. But if you're stuck with a bunch of crabs who, when you're trying to fly the nest and you're trying to do something, and they're like, no, you can't do that. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You get your big pincer out and be like, no, bang, I'm doing this, and I'll just find another tribe. That's what I think. Yeah,
I like that. I think that's good. Liz is saying, I always worry about that if someone is bothering me and I feel the need to tell someone, I never intend to drag anyone down by it. Just need to get off my chest. And that's fine too. That's what friends are for.
Yeah.
That's what friends and family are for. And if they're worth bothering with and will take the time to listen, then, they'll do it again.
Yeah.
It's important to find the good people in your life.
Yeah, definitely. And the implication with this is that risk of change, in that some of the people that you're talking to might not appreciate what is being said to them, whether it's to get it off your chest or not, because we talked about perception and how we receive information. If we are going to go out there, we may end up modifying and changing our tribe anyway through our language, through our actions. But that's not a bad thing.
No.
You don't, as I say, you don't need to pander to these people to keep them within your friend network if that's not when you know that there's something more for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Wu is saying no crabs were harmed in this production, and John took it down a peg or two and said nobody wants crabs. # late late show.
Late late show. I love it.
So true, John. So true.
What did I see?
I've
already read it, so that's fine.
Here we are. And then Bethan is saying, this is a crab. Crabs drag others down when they're trying to rise to the top. Don't be a crab. Correct.
I completely agree. So Helen's saying they want that pin.
Very good.
Don't be a crab, people. Don't be a crab. So R.I.P. I think Katja and Helen are having a conversation on the comments, and it's just coming out.
R.I.P. crabs.
Yeah. So she's trying. So Bethan's really chuffed. She's had 3 days in a row on the quotes. The reflective quote that goes out after the episode. She's been.
She's on a roll.
She is. Well done.
Fantastic.
So we're up to 27 minutes.
Wow. How does that even happen?
How has that happened?
Blows my mind.
Does anyone have any kind of farewell thoughts on shame and on tribes and on trying to better yourself and that pain threshold and that self-awareness? We've covered so much today.
And boxes. So many boxes.
So many boxes.
Some of them locked, some of them old, some of them dusty, some of them with Disney mugs in.
Yes.
Who knows what the boxes hold?
Who knows? And we've got to open them. We do need to open them. We have to open them regularly.
Who doesn't love opening a box?
Well, you've had an Amazon parcel this morning again today.
I had a photo frame.
Woohoo!
Yeah, picture frame.
All around.
Emily saying, yeah, teacher's pet, Bethan. I guess you are this week.
Yeah, that's true.
Bethan's excited. Friday tomorrow.
It is Friday tomorrow. Talking of which, the theme as picked by Bethan, she's getting all the privileges this week.
Yes, she is.
Is by the seaside. Not actually at the seaside.
No.
Not yet.
No.
That's coming later on. So request time. Songs, themes to by the sea. You should do one of the. You have all the wise words. There you go. Liz is saying Justin should do her own show.
I'm not sure about that. Brilliant.
Oh no, Emily, what happened? She broke her routine today and she's feeling like crap because of it.
Oh, that's not good at all.
Well, there's so many crabs there at the sea. I don't know where the conversation's going.
No, we don't know.
Oh, Collie's got a song request.
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Yes.
Routines are fantastic. So we'll kind of end on this.
But don't hit yourself. Don't kill yourself because you broke it.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say.
It's not the end of the world.
Your routine is a guide to make sure that we are efficient and effective and functional in everyday life, particularly in these unprecedented times, even this many weeks gone.
Yes.
Should have gone to bed earlier. And the problem with looking back over a routine and kind of kicking yourself with it is that you can't change that anymore. But what you can do is you can go to bed earlier this evening. And the thing with making commitments, as in act acceptance and commitment therapy, is that if you break a commitment to do something, there's no one telling you you had one chance to make that commitment.
No.
You can recommit to get back into that routine. And if that routine doesn't work for you, use self-awareness skills to be like, actually, I'm not very good at the thing that I wanted to do. So such as waking up super early, going to bed super early. I will read for so many minutes every single day.
Mhm.
If that isn't working for you, evaluate it, think about it, and think what you can do going forward. Recommit to your commitment and don't punish yourself for things that have already been and gone.
Yeah.
Is
Chloe's over the hedge again.
It's okay, she'll come in.
not a problem.
Don't
We're nearly finished. We're just saying goodbye. We've got to go and rescue a cat.
We do.
Thank you so much. Hello, Rafi.
Hello,
who joined us at the
Rafi.
very end there. And the most awkward show in the world, have Bethan on there. If you gave her a script, though, she is a fantastic actress. So that'll be fine. So yeah, we'll leave it at that.
We're on time today. This is
I
fantastic.
know. So Emily, I hope that advice was okay. Don't kick
Go and
yourself.
sit in the sunshine for an hour.
Yeah.
Lap up the vitamin D.
Lap it up. Thank you, Chrissy, for joining us on Instagram.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone who's watched this evening. Thank you to those that have shared
This
my
afternoon.
post this afternoon. Thank you to those who have shared the post from earlier. I'm very grateful that you would consider me worthy to be on your feed. So thank you. And yeah, we're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Absolutely. We'll see you tomorrow evening
See you tomorrow evening.
with your sun hats on.
Yes, big hats. Bye.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye bye. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button first.
Hello.
Smile and wave, boys.